You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Nothing like a little pep talk from Coach.
Yes.
It's all about that confidence. Bring it here today on this Tuesday. Glad you're with us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Let's start off with your forecast. Maybe you got spritzed on overnight.
Yes.
Absolutely. The drive-in was a little misty.
That's
right.
Light drizzle out there.
Yeah.
Everything should be tapering off in the next hour or so. That's the expectation, is that today in general is going to be a beautiful day. But we do have a little bit of activity still lighting up the screen there as we look at satellite radar as it stands now. Cloud cover also quite dense toward about the central portion of the county, but those clouds are breaking apart and shaping up pretty nicely by the afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s, mostly sunny skies. We're going to get even warmer for tomorrow, and dry skies are in the foreseeable future. We have a lot more to talk about. It's coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Evan, thank you very much. And now we are following this breaking news out of Spring Valley. Look here, crews are battling the fire at McDonald's.
Massive flames here broke out around 3 a.m. in the 8700 block of Hamishell Boulevard. Let's check in with CBS 8's Regina Yarita, who just got on the scene there. And what do we know so far here, Regina?
Yeah, Eric and Netta, and we just moved to kind of give you guys a better image of really the damage here at this McDonald's. This is at the Spring Valley Shopping Center, but you could see right there, right, white smoke still in the air, and we actually have a crane here that firefighters are using to put water drops just towards that angle up ahead to really kind of gauge really the situation that they're looking at, seeing if there's any flames or putting out any possible flames here at this building. But again, still noticing a lot of white smoke, over 5 fire engines here, lots of lots of activity from these firefighters. Just you can even see this image just by the 54 freeway while we were heading over here, but right off of Hamishell Road. And we're also noticing a lot of residents here in this area noticing what happened. But I think the biggest question is if there was any injuries just looking at this image. And we did hear from San Miguel Fire and Rescue saying that there was no one hurt while this fire happened. But of course, just the extreme image of this, right? Seeing the McDonald's just completely or almost incinerated. This building is at a complete loss. But firefighters doing a tremendous job really to stop that fire, stop this building, and really hoping that no one would get hurt. Really doing a tremendous job here at this time. But there are other business here at this moment, of course, getting ready for the morning commute. So that could also have some sort of delays, pretty much impacting some of the businesses here in this area as they work to get everything under control. But right now, not seeing really any orange fire, any flames at this moment, just a lot of white smoke here. But we're going to continue to update you as we just got here about 30 minutes ago, noticing really this building, right, this McDonald's completely destroyed by that fire. We still don't know the cause of it. That is some details or confirmation that we're still trying to get from fire officials. As soon as we hear more details, we'll be sure to share it with you. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thanks for the update there. And then another fire, this one in Point Loma. Crews working quickly to put this out. It was a car fire that spread to a garage. This happened just before midnight in the 4700 block of Muir Avenue. You can see the garage completely destroyed. Not clear if anyone was hurt or what may have sparked that. This morning, a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is officially over. Israel launched a wave of airstrikes across Gaza overnight. It says it struck down dozens of Hamas targets in its heaviest assault in Gaza since the ceasefire took effect in January.
Palestinian officials say more than 400 people have died in this, including children. Hamas says a senior security official was killed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he ordered the strikes, claiming progress has not been made to extend the ceasefire. Press Secretary Caroline Levitt says the Trump administration was consulted by Israel ahead of this attack.
A man accused of going on a crime spree from Oceanside to Logan Heights and El Cajon has been ordered to appear in court today by force if necessary. Police accused James Albernaz of sexually assaulting a woman, breaking into an Airbnb room with little girls inside, and 2 carjackings. He has refused to leave his cell to be arraigned.
Today, the city of Carlsbad is expected to vote on an ordinance that would ban people from living in vehicles on public property. That would include parks, beaches, parking lots, and streets, citing safety and quality of life concerns. The city says they plan to offer shelter and services before issuing any citations. If it passes there today, it will take effect in Carlsbad by late April.
Well, it is game day for San Diego State. The Aztecs men's basketball team will play North Carolina today in a first 4 game of the NCAA tournament.
We have CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside of Viejas Arena to give us a preview of this big game, Chris. We're excited checking out the brackets.
Yes.
There's a way SDSU and UC San Diego could play each other.
Crazy.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah.
That's true. They are both in the South region. That is absolutely possible, but both being a little bit of higher seeds, they're going to have to take down some of the top dogs, if you will. But first for San Diego State, UNC in one of these play-in games, one of these first 4 games in which they still don't even have a seed number next to their name. But despite all of that, the fans we spoke to yesterday here on campus told us they're excited and they're confident.
It's the best. I mean, yesterday we were both watching the TV show Selection Sunday. Like, we saw our name pop up, we started cheering. You know, like you don't know what's gonna happen, but like you're in and out. So like you're with all the 68 other teams. You know, you want to see some wins. You know, you want to see your team like play good and like support for San Diego.
And Davis has a
Win and advance. That is all San Diego State has to worry about right now. In fact, head coach Brian Dutcher, hoping that his team plays with a swagger, as of course they are an at-large bid here, going 21-9 on the season. North Carolina also an at-large bid, 22-13. The UNC selection a little bit controversial. Some people not believing that they were a tournament-worthy team because they only won 1 out of 11 games on their schedule of teams that actually ended up making the tournament, so not actually performing well against some of those better teams. And even knowing all of that, they are still 4.5-point favorites over San Diego State, who had a quick turnaround after finding out Sunday where they were going to be playing in Dayton in that South region. They found out they were also playing on Tuesday, so the team loaded up on those buses and got out to Dayton for a quick practice, a public practice, and as head coach Brian Dutcher told us, putting together that game plan, hopefully behind closed doors. Now, San Diego State relying on their defense all year. North Carolina, a big offensive team led by senior guard R.J. Davis. So it will truly be a testament of which will come out on top, offense versus defense. We heard head coach Brian Dutcher saying, hey, look, I want my guys to get shots up. Will that impact their effort on defense? That remains to be seen. We do know, of course, that tip-off will be 6:10 p.m., and whoever wins this game will eventually face Ole Miss. Eric Netta.
All right, yep, filling out those brackets. Get them in here. Get them ready.
Okay, thank you,
Good
Chris.
to see San Diego on there multiple times. Appreciate it, Chris. Here are your game times for San Diego State and UC San Diego men's and women's teams in the NCAA tournament. The Aztecs play the Tar Heels at 6:10 today. UC San Diego women play against Southern, that's in Baton Rouge, at 6 p.m. tomorrow. UC San Diego men play Thursday at 7 p.m. against Michigan. San Diego State women play Saturday against LSU at 7:15 p.m. Yeah, some big names, but hey, that's why they call it the madness. You never know what's going to happen.
I mean, the underdog story, the ultimate, right?
Well, and also, I feel like every year those seeds don't really, since they're not like seeds that are based on decades.
Right, and playing each other, right? Yeah.
Like, I mean, one year you can be 1 seed, next year 16.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, it doesn't give much validity to it.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's why you really have to be. You have to have, a lot of loyalty to your
true.
team.
Pick your favorite team.
Have
Why
their
not?
back.
Have them go all the way.
So pick out your bracket now. What, 2 more days? When do they lock in?
One day.
Today?
They
2
lock.
hours.
Do they lock in today? Oh, they do. Yeah, technically you're done.
This morning,
Okay,
yeah.
so finish off your bracket now. When we look at your forecast for today, we've got temperatures mostly in the low 60s out by the coast, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler off toward the mountains, upper 50s or so this afternoon. It's cold out there to start off the morning. 28 degrees up at Palomar Mountain, 28 at Mount Laguna. As you look up toward the coastline, you got 53 in Oceanside, 52 in Carlsbad, and 55 in downtown San Diego. We're officially dry out there now that we have seen the showers from last night largely come to a halt. There are a few select spots where there are maybe there's maybe a little bit of drizzle. That seems to be subsiding almost completely by sunrise, which is coming very shortly. You got about another half hour or so. So once we get past sunrise and the sun is coming up, those clouds will start to break apart. We'll move toward a better format for the remainder of the day. That chance for rain, again, dwindles all the way through the beginning of next week. And in fact, once we have that ridge of high pressure overhead, it's really going to help to allow for much drier skies in the mix. Off toward the mountains and deserts, a wind advisory stays in effect until 11 a.m. Once that wind advisory expires, we'll really notice those wind speeds die down. But for now, Borrego Springs, 52 miles per hour. Notice by about 9 a.m., we're down to 30 or so miles per hour. And then by noon, 13. So significantly calmer in the afternoon. What I also want you to hone in on here is our wind direction, because by the time we get into tomorrow, those winds are going to shift direction, and offshore flow, Santa Ana winds, are going to help to warm us up, make for a very warm upcoming Wednesday. Let's look outside as far as traffic goes. Earlier on, we weren't tracking any crashes or collisions. That still seems to be the case. No crashes this morning, except for up around Solana Beach. There's one stalled vehicle to watch for, not causing any major backups this morning. Looking at your drive times out the door for our border wait time. San Ysidro Port of Entry, 70 minutes. It's an hour 10. Otay Mesa Port of Entry should only take you about 30 minutes to get across.